We have with us Shweta Dhingra Arora, social media influencer, joining us. When we talk about the content, whether it's OTT platforms or on social media, some of the content is inappropriate. How would you support this misuse of social media in regard to, say, children or other people who kind of take offense to the kind of content that's out there?
Hi, Divya. I'm very glad that this has come up. And being a social media influencer, a person whose responsibilities entail what's going on as the content, I think it's very important to get some curves. It's very important to get some regulation in what's going on out there. I think in the name of freedom of speech, we may have created a monster. And it's, instead of taking offense, and I think we should all support and be all out, there has to be some responsibility in what is going on the social media today.
Right. So, after Australia's moving to ban social media for children under 16, now Ashwini Vaishnaw was heard saying that existing laws need to be made more stringent in order to curb vulgar content on social media. Is it time to monitor social media?
It is because on one hand we worry about our children first and foremost. So what exactly are we? What example are we setting? It's affecting our mental health. I mean, adults are there's so much going on. There's so much trolling. There's hate speech. And then, of course, there's vulgarity, there's violence. We have to draw a line somewhere. I think it's important to talk about it. It's not about imposing a ban. It's about coming together and seeing what's what's for the betterment for all of us. There is no platform accountability, nothing. Right now, it's just an open field. So some curves will definitely, be helpful.
Right. We also have Khushbu Jain with us, advocate of the Supreme Court, joining us. Thank you so much for speaking with us this morning. Do we need to sensitize social media? What are the existing laws in place in regard to vulgar and inappropriate content on social media? And what more can be done in order to ensure its implementation?
See, you've got IT Act in place, which talks about obscenity in a digital form is something which is punishable offense. Then you have IPC, which is replaced by BNS. BNS also talks about obscenity on internet or obscenity in any form which can be shared. It can be digital form, which is a punishable offense. The punishment goes from 2 years to 3 years of imprisonment plus fine. Now, all of this comes a difficulty on social media because what happens is social media platforms are given a safe harbor protection. Now that safe harbor protection under the IT Act practically saves these platforms from any kind of punishment. Why? Because they act as an intermediary. You post something, I read. You write something, I read. Or you sell something and I buy. So they are practically a platform in between who have nothing to do with any sort of crime per se. But those were the different times. And if you see the time today, social media platforms have become part and parcel of our everyday life. It has become so much so that practically people have moved their businesses on social media. The marketplace is reading news. Even if they want to see the news channel news, they want to go on social media and see those shots. So how this social media has been part and parcel of our life and how platforms are being utilized for commission of the crime is where we have got IT rules, the 2021 rules, and IT rules 2021 says very clearly that it's a responsibility of social media platform, number one, to tell people very clearly and categorically that they cannot involve themselves in any sort of posting of anything which is obscene, which can hurt sentiments of people or other users, and so on and so forth, or nudity or child pornographic content. Apart from this, there is one more addition that rules have got in, that it is the responsibility of social media to keep on checking. But I think that's where the word comes is reasonable measures. Now, that's where the reasonable measures are the one where social media platforms take a leeway that we had no knowledge about this. This is happening. We have made our customers or users aware about it, but it's still happening. we are as it is immune by the safe harbor protection. That's where I think Ashwini Vaishnaw is also talking about that the changes need to come in. Social media platforms know very well what's happening on their platforms. They have tools and technology. They do amplify news. They use bots where they think that traction will increase. They do take down some content which is against their own personal policy or agenda. So when you can monitor, you're no more a passive intermediary, you are an active intermediary. And with AI coming in place, you understand very well what is obscene, what is not obscene, what comes to nudity, what is child pornographic content, what is abusive content. You can very well take an immediate step to take that content down rather than waiting for somebody to complain on that matter. And if when somebody complains, take an immediate action. So that's where I think we need to bring in more laws, because when you have a safe harbor protection, the platforms think of their businesses first rather than some moral duty which they have it for their citizen, for the whole population. I'm not just talking about India, but whole world. We are literally, this is the next generation that we are talking about. The kind of things that are happening on social media, I don't have to pull it out. I think we have a mom, the influencer over here, who would be much more aware about the kind of things happening on these platforms.
Absolutely, the concern, especially when it comes to parents. Shweta, you know, Ashwini Vaishnaw highlighted how the editorial checks that once existed in traditional media have eroded in the digital age, enabling uncontrolled expression and at times objectionable content. Would you agree that there's a difference in our culture, and while we're trying to bridge the gap across the world, there should be different rules in place in different countries?
See, the bottom line is there should be rules. Yes, there's a difference of culture, but you can't. I mean, look at Australia. Despite whatever cultural differences, they have accepted that, yes, as parents, as the government, we need to look out, we need to watch out for the children. So more than anything else, more than any differences, I think the bottom line is it is very important as parents of any country, across backgrounds, across cultures. It's very important to have control, to have supervision, and to know and allow, yes, what is good for their mental health and what is not. So it is very, very much needed.